Hello and welcome to another Wednesday live stream. I hope you're all having a good week. Tonight, no special guests, just you're gonna have to put up with our boring old company. With me over here, I've got the painter Flo. What are you working on today, Flo Flo?
Working on some terrain from the Tomb World kill team.
Looks pretty cool. Looks all ruinous and all that sort of thing. And then below me, we've got Disembodied Voice helping run things in the background.
Hello.
And then in the chat, Mr. Paul Knox 505, my wonderful moderator, helping keep you ruffians in line. So tonight is a Warmachine talk. This Friday, I actually don't know the time yet, so I should be better prepared, but it's not me streaming it. But this Friday, I actually have my first game of Warmachine Mark IV, at least in a long time. Enough so that I basically have to relearn the whole game. And so that'll be live streamed, except it'll be played on Wartable. So no physical whatever. So I was messing around in there earlier, trying to figure out how to move about. But yeah, so I'm going to be giving that a go. And since the old Umbrey stuff came out, I got really excited about those models because they do look super cool. And so I'm like, okay, fine, this will be what I jump back in with, and I'll play, that game. And so let me relearn the rules. And so I download the app, or I have the app, but I go into the app to look about in there. And then I'm like, oh, they have the little lore primer for old Umbrey. So I read that instead of reading the rules. And I'm sure it'll be fine. I still have 2 days. So that was my plan. Wartable, totally forgot about that. I know, Paul. It's one of those, you can play multiple games on Wartable, and it's really great for people wanting, where you physically can't meet up. But there's always sort of that like clanky awkwardness of it. Like, I don't even play Tabletop Simulator, as you know. Like, Paul and I think we played a game of Kill Team once on Tabletop Simulator, and it's like, it's okay. Like, if you're going to digitize your analog game, then, like, I guess I don't know, I act like a spoiled brat, I guess, about it. I want, like, more things to be automated for me. Like, just make it a proper video game then. And if you're going to be analog, you're analog. Like, it's one or the other, I guess. But that said, I understand, obviously Paul and I can't just meet up at the friendly local game store and play a game. So it is what it is. Lore in an easy to find place. Yeah, actually, I do like that the app has the little lore vignettes in there. I'm a little sad at how much of it is locked behind the paywall, and I was too cheap to buy it, so I just have the free stuff. But I'll show you what all I got, because
I still like it printed in books, personally.
Yeah, and that is coming out this year, supposedly, like the rule book with all that sort of thing. But here's the little app. I actually downloaded it on my computer. So you can see, you've got your core rule stuff, which I was poking through that last night before I fell asleep. And then your actual primers. Let's see. Story, compendiums. So you got these are, I believe, stories. But then the forces stories are all here. So old Umbrey. And this is free, so, I'm not doing anything wrong here.
It's not giving anything away.
I'm not giving anything away because I haven't paid for it. So yeah, we've got the overview, and I read through it, and it's okay. I'm still trying to decide how I feel about it because the old Umbrey is essentially the old witches faction. And the Old Witch was one of my favorite warcasters. So, of course, like, I'm all about it. But
was that the name of one of her theme lists or something?
I don't know.
I don't remember.
Umbrey was.
It sounded familiar.
Remembering an old theme list, that's a little hard for me. Andrew, right up there with 3D terrain and painted models. Yeah, no, they've improved enormously since then. So I do... I have to give all the credit possible to that. That said, it was kind of funny because, friends with my dear Erica from Tried and True, Lover, Taylor from the Ice King, had them both on a few weeks ago, and both of them were like, nah, we don't read the lore. Like, okay. I guess some things don't change. Like she reads the lore for her specific faction, which admittedly is kind of where I'm starting here, but it's just kind of funny. So yeah, hopefully that can be improved. Thomas, old Umbrey looks amazing. I know the models in here are actually really extraordinary. They've got some pictures of them here. So here are the different like warcasters. I guess they're warlocks. She's like a sniper woodsman lady. He's got some pet crows. So there's like these children of Zavanna Aga, which are basically kidnapped children, usually girls, but this guy is, I think he was just a follower of her. But they're like the children of Zavanna Aga, who are all witches, basically. So there's like a witch coven that helps protect the old world area. So old Umbrey is far to the east in Khador, and Khador for the new edition has been invaded by the Orgoth, and they showed up on the western shores, hence Western Emmer and obviously all the shores to the west. So the Orgoth invaded from there and have plunged deep into Khador, and so it's fighting for its survival. But old Umbrey, being far to the east, is somewhat insulated, but they are preparing for battle because the Orgoth have risen them into or roused them into action. Like they were just sort of working in the background and maintaining their power for whenever they should need, which was some of the lore issues I did have, because it was like a lot of Zavanna Aga pulling the strings, but it felt a little too explained. Like Zavanna Aga is old, possibly older than Menoth. Like she walked the earth or walked Cain whenever he was walking around. And so I'm not sure I love the story just being like, and this is what she wants to do. Like, I don't know that you want to do that with the story. Like, is my view. So let me interrupt myself to say hi to some people in the chat, because I'm going to start probably meandering a bit. First off, hi Shale. Love what you posted on the Facebook, by the way. I already got those collected. Matthew, thank you for joining. Plunder Den, always good to see you. I love what you posted too. Frozen Scarecrow, welcome to the chat. Reliquary, ditched Crix for old Umbrey. The second it was announced, proxied my way through our whole introductory league. What do you think of their play style? Because I have no idea yet. Let's see, your kill team kind of worked. Yeah. There's so many video games you can play instead, right? Brian says that the paywall is coming to an end. They announced it, but no timeline, but eventually. Yeah, that's what I thought they said, but then I saw the paywall is still up, so I thought I misunderstood it. But I guess if that's going away for the lore, that's cool. Especially since if a majority of players, with my very, very tiny sample size of them, aren't really reading the lore, then why put that behind a paywall? So glad you're dipping your toes back into the game. The Old Ways novella was pretty sweet. That ending of the second part was totally rad. Old Ways. I have not read that one yet. The last one I read was Wicked Ways. Hey, Aaron. Welcome to the chat. Dragon Council 42. I just 3D printed and painted up some defenses that are free on my mini factory for Warmachine. Oh, yeah. Voice was looking at those, right?
Yeah, I actually have some images that I'll bring up a little later of just stuff that they have available on my mini factory.
Old Umbrey is very similar to Circle. Yeah, I was sort of getting that. It looked like there was a lot of Tree Walker spells and that kind of stuff in there. Thorn influence.
Yeah, so this is where I kind of step in and I think about it like, decisions that you would make as a company, right? And as far as that, so when 5 years ago or something, 10 years ago, you're wanting to step in and play Warmachine, you kind of look at it and you see a lot of factions that have a very distinct look to them, right? And I always felt like Scorn kind of had a look. Legion was kind of lacking, I think. Like you could tell them apart from the other, but they needed to kind of, there was some sort of design that they needed to kind of add into it to kind of make it a little better. But, Signar had a couple of different looks to it that were all really cool. That, you have the Tesla coil, whatever look, and then, you have like the trencher look. And so you had like a few different things with that. With Khador, I felt like it was a really solid look. And one of the things is that Circle of Boros had a very specific and unique look.
Oh yeah.
And it was just, oh yeah, Circle. It's its thing. It had a full identity. It had a full everything. It just looked really cool. And you could argue like, well, there's the Wolds that are kind of a faction, and then like the Tharn and the crazy warp wolves and all those types of creatures. And you never really put both on the table at the same time because they were kind of their own factions. But visually, if an outsider looked at it, it all looked like it fit together. Even if it didn't gameplay together, you could see a warp wolf stalker like running around, hell, climbing up on top of a wold, in order to jump off of it or something. Like you would just see that it had this very unique look. And I worry because Khador also had what I think was a very solid and unique look. You know what I mean? They had their very distinct identities. And now you kind of have Old Umbrey, which is just, it's mostly Circle with a little bit of Khador peppered into it, right?
There's a lot of influence. Like that looks extremely Tharn. Like that feels Circle-y.
Yeah, that's a
like,
Circle model.
The beasts are not quite either. Almost get a little bit of Scorn vibe from those.
But it's like,
that feels very,
that looks like
Circle
Tharn.
or Gator even, right?
Those should have been Tharn is what that looks like, right? And so it's kind of this like, you look at it and you're just like, oh man, I don't know. And it's where I worry about that direction that it's going. So that's just me personally. And that's kind of where I was saying, it's like, yeah, these guys look like Circle. And it's like, yeah. And Khador shouldn't. Khador should look like Khador. Because if you look at the most successful tabletop war game out there, every one of those factions has a very specific identity. And they don't really trip over each other. You know what I mean? Even amongst a lot of the Space Marines, which are all kind of a faction, you look at it and you're like, oh yeah, Blood Angels don't look at all like Space Wolves, right? And even the different colors of like Imperial Fists and Ultramarines and all that. Even Ultramarines kind of have this very like Roman look to them. And I don't know, even the Space Marines themselves have unique looks. But then when you get into, you would never confuse, something from the Orc faction with something from the, I don't know, the Adeptus Mechanicus or anything from the Eldar or anything like even the Chaos ones, like they all really do stand apart. Right. And it's where it's like, especially with miniatures, something small, everything that's small like that, you really need them to stand apart on the tabletop and not let them get muddied. And you don't want to let the themes get muddied. And that's just where I kind of look at.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely going a different direction because there isn't a lot of, I couldn't find just proper Circle like in here, right? So they're going to be their own cadre at some point. And I guess in maybe the old ways and maybe Reliquary, or who had read the lore on that can answer the question. Because where you start in with the old Umbrey stuff, the lore is that through whatever series of events, Zavanna Agha, the old Witch of Khador, has like enslaved Wormwood, who was a warlock in Circle of Boros. He's the tree, right? And she's been like, she's subdued him and is like leeching off like his tree blood, not sap. I think it's blood actually, and mixing that into concoctions to like soup up the creatures that are under her. And so you've gotten things like, again, the lupine shifted and some of the earlier mobs I was showing you, some of the early models I was showing you are all based on like them imbibing of the blood of Wormwood and
now the question
therefore
is,
linking themselves to the devourer worm.
Now the Umbrey wasn't, I'm trying to remember if Umbrey were the Iron Fangs. Is that where the Iron Fang pikemen?
Iron Fang pikemen, I believe, did come from Yeah, because the Iron Fang horsemen would have all been part of that. Vladimir's Pesky, the
he was the
great
prince
prince
of Umbrey, right?
Yeah, he was a prince of Umbrey, of that
So,
area.
so are these like the Earth sign shifted, right? Those are humans that have been shifted into an Earth sign form. Are those old pikemen? Right? Are those the Cossite woodsmen? Like, what are
No,
those guys?
I think what they did for those
Or are those just
are these
Tharn that lived in the
guys.
woods?
No, so these guys are. It mentions here that the a lot of the horses had been taken from Old Umbrey, and so they learned to ride on bears basically instead. And so, well, he's a champion, but let me get you to actual.
You get like a side shot of him or something, so I can see what
these
that looks
guys.
like.
So the liegemen are basically, I think, what the Iron Fang have become. Any of the ones that didn't just stay with the Winter Corps, because Khador is now essentially two very distinct factions. The Winter Corps is under Ein Vannar, under the Empress of Ein Vannar, and that is the military of the nation. Old Umbrey are a lot more. I mean, they're essentially replacing Grey Lords because the Grey Lords have all been outlawed and largely killed. But this is not a proper standing army officially sanctioned by the Empress. She'll probably tolerate it because they're aligned and allegedly are very patriotic. Although I don't know how patriotic you can be for a nation if you are under the Devourer Worm's influence. So I feel like that's always going to be a bit of a like conflict. But yeah, that's so you've got.
Were typically Menites.
Well, they're fairly both. You did see a lot of Menites. In fact, Vlad, I believe, was Menite because one of his theme lists, I think in Mark III, was a Menite force where just all Menites and Menite aligned models could be in the same army. But Vlad's dead off screen, so we don't get to see any more of that. Let's see, every single model either in the army either has Pathfinder, flies, or places. Never played Circle. Feels Khador tough and viciously damaging on the table. All right, well, it sounds like it should resolve pretty quickly. Again, I have no idea what to expect from my game on Friday. Oh yeah, some love for the Grimkin. So Matthew's saying the Grimkin will come back next year. I can see that. The Grimkin they ended up kind of pulling out as one of my favorite factions ever. They were very delightful. Patty says, this is what made me so upset. The troll models are cool if they weren't in the context of the last edition. Well, they're trying to make each of these, I guess, more distinct. Like with Signar, to your point, Voice, about these different factions having strong identities. Signar actually struggled with that, right? You had the knights, like the medieval official knights, and then you had like the wild-haired like electro scientists,
the army of Albert Einsteins,
right?
With all their Tesla coils,
right? And so it's like those didn't really even feel like they fully played properly together. It was weird. And so they've separated it out. You've got the grave diggers, trenchers, like being more gritty, World War I style, and then
which if I step back into Warmachine at all, it probably will be with the trenchers, with the grave diggers.
They're quite cool. What do you mean, Patty? These Khador models are awesome, but they don't fit with Space Signar?
Oh, because, well, I mean, he has a very valid point, I think, in terms of the art direction for all the Tesla coil Signar, is that it looks like Neo Mechanica armor now.
Oh, for the new stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas like, well, I'm trying to think of how I describe it. Original Signar was almost like high Gothic armor, right? Plate armor that had been retrofitted with like Tesla coils and with, things to conduct electricity on top of a traditionally kind of rounded over armor, like armor suits. And they would have those armor suits with padding under them. And so they would be immune to the electricity, but
Right.
even their suits would conduct it. Whereas now it looks like mech suits more than, suits of armor, like medieval suits of armor, that have that. And so it feels more like, I don't know, Robotech is attacking, like this, I don't know, 18th century world.
Reliquary, to answer your question, I'm doing a 50-point list. So it's not like the full, I guess 100 is the standard size. I don't want to go that big on a Wartable game. So 50 points is what we're picking. Gravediggers are now paratroopers. Interesting.
Oh, interesting. I haven't looked into them so deeply yet, and so I'm curious to really noodle through them.
Yeah, but for the forces of Old Umbrey, yeah. So the old witch who has had stuff with Old Umbrey going on a long time has now activated those troops to fight the Orgoth, plus whatever other threats are coming that even she cannot foretell or whatever. But one of the weird things that got mentioned that felt like a bit of a retcon, I think it's in here, was like she had been working. Yeah, the Great Prince of Umbrey, Vladimir Zapesky, worked closely with Zavana Aga. I don't think that was that really true. In any of the lore I read, he knew of her presence and he knew she took an interest in him, but he did not know why. And I think she even helps to save him when he's kidnapped at some point.
Yeah, she nurses him back to health.
Yeah.
And he knows that she has some design for him, but she never explains it to him.
Yeah.
And it's definitely so not the other way. It's not like
Sunday brunch with her. He's just doing his own thing. And it's
and he didn't.
You don't argue when I don't know, what's essentially a demigod takes an interest in you. You're just okay. I don't think there was much cooperation. She just did what she wanted.
No,
in fact,
the old witch
she
is one
might
of
have
the
even
coolest.
taken an interest in Sorce's kid or something. Maybe so much of that crap happens off screen that you don't know.
Wait. And Sorce's kid, is this new?
No, it's why she was in the Mana War suit for one of her editions to hide her pregnancy.
It's pregnant Sorcia. Now, was that the case then, or did they not? Did they just come up with that after the fact?
I don't know.
Was it like the baby bump armor, or what? What exactly is that?
Which is absurd because the Mana War armor was so notoriously dangerous that people routinely cooked inside their suits. And if you're pregnant, you're not even supposed to be in a hot tub. So it's it's a bad plan. It's a terrible plan all around. But whatever. To be fair, Warmachine has always been kind of loosey-goosey with style. Retribution, anime style. Convergence, 50s style. Robot men, pirates, and mecha zombies. That's true. They were just, but however you feel about Convergence, they were definitely a distinct style. Very Art Deco. It was cool. It was actually even more 1920s, I would argue, than 50s. But
even Retribution having anime style, you didn't feel like they were so technologically superior to the other factions that of course they would win. It's not like it's not like you have current US military troops, mingling with, I don't know, or going up against an army with muskets. You know what I mean? It never felt like that. If one side had something that had repeater rifles, the other one still had guns and rifles,
I want new clock bits. Matthew said that Sorce's child got sent off with the Cirrus group at Hengehold. So they literally shipped her.
Wow.
I don't know. It bothered me.
God.
But to be fair, I loved Sorcia, but they did her dirty with the lore. She never got a good shake of it. A couple things with the Butcher. The Butcher, of course, way overrated. And I don't know what his deal is now, where he's oh, Ein Vanner has betrayed me. I'm with the Orgoth now. And you're all right, whatever, dude. He's ridiculous. So, this is why, I would like to see the lore be treated a little more seriously, and I'm hoping this is a movement toward that. But yes, so we've got the old witch. She is infecting all of her people that she has put together as the forces of Old Umbrey with Wormwood's blood, which links them to the Devourer Worm. Now it gives them strength, but the Devourer Worm is one of the other major primal gods of Cain. There's Dunia, who the Trollbloods worship, and she is like the goddess of life and fertility and generally like good things, the way you would think of maybe Gaia or, one of the more benevolent spirits. The Devourer Worm is just hunger. In fact, if for you Tyranid players, it's basically like the Tyranid view. He just hungers. He is completely pure feral fury. There's no like reasoning with it. It's just very, very a primal spirit, right? With no benevolence. So she's imbibed these, or different people, I guess, have imbibed of the Devourer Worm's blood to different impacts. And a lot of them are still like, empowered on their own. Everyone's got a magical sense, it seems to them. Oh, Paul, I painted Sorcerer 3 Mana War. It's meant to be a birthday present years ago. Lost it. That's right. I remember that. The Butcher is a reincarnated Orgoth. He gets a moment with Sorsha and the lore behind the paywall. Interesting. I think the idea of him being reincarnated Orgoth is a little... I don't know. Maybe we'll see how it's written. Maybe I'll check it out.
So in that moment, I don't understand how the Butcher's still standing now if he's had a moment with Sorsha. Because I feel like after the last time she ran into him at that camp, when she walked in and he had killed... I think he'd even killed Kadoran troops along with Signar troops. Oh, no. He had walked in and just started slaughtering everybody because Signar was working with Khador.
Yes.
And she almost killed him there. And I think Sorsha absolutely could take the Butcher because he's all mad and angry, but she can just freeze him solid and then shatter him.
Sure, I've done it before.
And so I want to know what this interaction is where it doesn't end with her killing him.
Yeah, I don't know. Especially if he's like, oh, I'm not loyal to Khador anymore, because that was the only thing holding her back before.
Oh, yeah.
But no. Like, a bunch of people need to die off screen. They got to keep the Butcher alive, apparently. It's fine. It's not my lore. Devourer Worm was the hunger aspect, as is a constituent part of Ouroboros. Yes. That's probably a more succinct explanation than what I'm providing. But that said, these are going to be more feral creatures. They are not going to be... I don't think they're going to be highly loyal to Khador, no matter what the lore says. Because they're like, oh, no, they're very patriotic. But also, just in their own way. I don't think Anne Van is super thrilled with them. But there's some really cool-looking models in here. So the Primeval is like it's aberrant magic, I believe is sort of how they described it. Yeah, products of the chaos of conflicting primordial energies. And this is a way of explaining why, because they're war beasts, right? Why they can have a different head and different weapon loadouts, because everything's magnetized to have different loadouts now. And so you can mix and match it because it's primordial, chaotic energies. The Feral, that looks like an interesting model, especially the little flight ability. I have to remember how to use animuses again now. Jack, Butcher wrecked Sorsha in the new lore. She was definitely out of shape, and he was finally calm, which is pretty scary to see a calm Butcher.
I feel like without his rage, he's got nothing. I think it's the opposite.
Well, he would have done away with his dogs, I guess. He had the dogs last time. But I don't know.
But yeah, I don't know. It's whatever that weird simping for the Butcher is that everyone has, that it's like, oh, of course he would beat her in like whatever writing. But based on what they've already laid out, there's no way he could.
Matthew says the old Umbrey forces are terrifying as someone who has played into them several times. Well, let me ask you this, because I haven't played a game yet with it. Is anybody getting the impression, and I just asked this without like knowing one or the other, if the old Umbrey are maybe like specifically overtuned right now to make them very popular. If you get my meaning.
I don't think they would do it to make them popular, right? Like that's
No.
not. I don't think that's the. I don't think that's the philosophy of Steamforge gaming.
Probably not. Yeah. I think I tend to agree with that, like for the record. But when they are the new faction and they're also like crazy scary, it can either be because they're so different to play against that people just aren't used to countering that, or I don't know. Or it can be like I feel like they might have done that with Bradigan, right? So, but that wasn't Steamforge. So
yeah, that was years ago, and I don't even think they did that with Bradigan. I think they just messed up. Like they were playing so loose,
yeah, that's
fast and
true
loose
too.
with all the feats and all the abilities, just because they wanted more and more novelty. That it was just inevitable they were going to screw up like that and create a Warcaster that just sort of had a 1-2 punch you couldn't really do anything against.
Are you talking about this one, the Starved? I mean, let's be real. Warmachine never took their bases seriously. Like, there's always so much overhang. You were butt charging with bronze backs and.
No, they were the one game where your bases were the most important, and I swear they were the company with the least respect for the silhouette of their base.
Oh, Mimi, I sincerely believe the balance point for Old Umbrey is how far forward your Warlock wants to be. How far forward? Oh, interesting. Like, do you usually play them pretty aggressive? Because I mean, the sniper one seems like she'd not want to be far forward. I don't know about the wizard guy. No, just like I feel like Captain Maxim, he's happy to play far forward. He seems pretty comfortable with that. Alicia, who looks freaking amazing, by the way. I wish I could zoom in on this. Like she's kind of like Dreamer or the Menoth girl, Harbinger. Not as quite as elegant, but like she's a really cool, like woodsy, druidic kind of model. And then this guy looks like he also plays far forward. I believe he transforms, which is an extremely Ouroboros way of playing, right? Butt charging, incentivized token machine, true. All of them having Pathfinder as a challenge if you're playing against them. These are things you can do. I learned how to use the Nayslayers to counter some things. Oh, they were so fun. Oh God, I miss Grimkin every time people talk about them. The models are beautiful, but aggravating for a game in which a 1/8 inch matters. Yeah, I think some things just don't go away. And that's going to be one of them. Like base overhang is just a reality. Not as bad on a model like this if presumably you're facing forward. Like that overhang does not seem bad. But some of them, yeah, can be a little rough. Like this one is, well, mostly just seems like a nuisance to put together. But hey, Erica. Looking at some old Umbrey. Yeah, I had read over the lore on it and was talking about it. And looking into how the models are designed as compared to the Winter Core, for example. So like Khador obviously is a very different aesthetic between Old Umbrey and here, and arguing a little bit about how patriotic Old Umbrey can possibly be to Khador, given their connection to the Devour Worm. I don't know if you have any opinion one way or the other on that. The woman on the bear plays forward as well. Oh, okay. Okay. Fair enough. Miranda's practicing Wartable. Oh my God. Wartable is very, very awkward. No cosplay off. Oh, I'm sorry.
Now, that's not true. It was in the intro.
I do own it. Oh, yeah, it was in the intro.
You saw it.
That counts. There you go. Thanks for looking out. But yeah, so I'm kind of working out how the different ways you play, because these loop lines shifted, all the shifted models versus like the Liegemen feel like I don't know if you mix them together or if you really sort of separate them out and you're like, this is more of a liege list and this is more of a shifty list or whatever. The Animus seems pretty cool. Like, he's very well-rounded. He can heal your beasts. He can put corpse tokens on things. Which I haven't messed with the corpse tokens in a long time since playing Goon Kid. Apparently, all the current 40K 3D sculpt files got released, and over 200,000 people downloaded them before they got taken down. Holy smokes! How did they get released? They just got some moles inside, or were like, "F you, company." Like, that's an inside job if that happened. Good lord. The neat lore to rules item with Veroni is that the ancient shroud rule is just killing the birds around him. Okay. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know what to say about that. Interesting. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see how they play. I've got excuse me. Oh yeah, and the witch marked totems, which I guess are these little just areas of like warning signs. The old witch's territory is here. So the Legion Hunters, Tharn-esque, you know. Although let's take a look at their cards. Loading. Legion Hunters. Speed, mat, rat, defense. Oh, armor 15. Okay, so they're going to be fairly tough. You know, the big trick will be me having to remember all these dang icons, which I guess I'm just going to have up on my phone or something. Oh, I guess I can just have it up on the computer while I'm playing. Makes it fair. Makes it easy enough. You have a variety of support options to pop one out proactively, or you can trade a dude out when they're killed. Oh, that's pretty fun. They have a lot of tools to play in the field at large. I think the learning curve for them is not oversaturating lists with support. Okay, so just making sure you've gotten some aggressive things in there. But I wonder if you also really need your support in there. Like, are the aggressive big boys like not good on their own without support? Like, what is the basic one? It looks like a feral or maybe a primeval. Oh, so many options. Agree, optimizing the number of shifters will be a hard thing. Huh. Is that how it works? No. Hey, there you go. Hey, thanks. Glad somebody knows how this works. Veroni feeds others corpse tokens. So does the Animus, I think. So, yeah, I guess it would just be a matter of sorting that out. Veroni. Was he a solo? He's cool looking. I mean, it is kind of nice that these sub-factions are like small enough that you could theoretically own all of them and just be happy with that. You don't need a million new releases. Like, I've collected Cater for 10 years and still never owned everything. You're overlooking the best thing. Is the bear cavalry like really amazing? I don't know. I always felt cavalry was overpriced for what you got. Let's see, what are they? The Ursons?
Well, and you're less interested because there are no horses.
Well, they took all the horses, okay? The shearlings are kind of interesting too.
Well, it guess it just depends on the faction, right? Because it would be
Bear Cav is insane. Okay, well, I'm being reliably told here. What we've got: 3 grunts, field allowance 2, so you can have up to 6, speed 7, mat and rat 6, defense 12, which is pretty good for Kador, armor 18, and then what you've got your cavalry rules. So unstoppable. This model does not have to forfeit its combat action when it advances or is placed out of one or more enemy model's melee range. Oh, well, that's pretty cool. And then Pathfinder, I believe, is still what I think it is. Yes. Okay. Dual attack. That's nice. Can make its melee and ranged attacks in the same activation. And then cavalry is a whole explanation. So what have they got? Spray 6 scattergun, power 14. That's pretty dang good. So you can move up. Can you shoot as part of a charge action before getting into melee? And then it's got 2 bear claws with crit knockdown and a shield to hit with. So that would be what, 3 melee attacks plus the ranged attack? That is a lot.
So wait, is the shield part of the bear?
I think they
separate them anymore.
I think
the one model just
the
gets
model
it
has his scattered gun and shield, and then the bear claw is probably not the cavalryman.
Yeah, the bear claws. I just wasn't sure what the shield was. I couldn't remember if the models had shields or not.
The big thing on the cavalry roll is the boosted charge attack rolls. Riding dudes. Okay, yes, that does feel very Kadoran. Not wrong. But I like the big chunky horses, even though I never... Did I end up owning them? I think I do. I think I do have a box of old Iron Fang pikemen, but I never put them together because they were all the old metal models. The shield is why they have unyielding. Oh, armor 20 versus melee. Okay. Plus 8 boxes. So, okay, I can see that being a fairly difficult thing to deal with. 10 points. I feel like that's also on the more expensive side because I think the feral was like 10 points or yeah, fully loaded out. But, well, I don't know. He's like the cheapest war beast too. Huh. Well, that's interesting. So maybe it's worth getting some cavalry. I suppose that also works out well with Wartable, right? Because you can just like try out whatever models you want. And if they die, they can turn into new bears? What are you talking about? Half man, half bear. Man, bear, shield. Yes, Paul, exactly. I watched the documentary you recommended. Oh, the one on Warmachine. Yeah, I need to reply to James actually, but I got an email about that. Have any of you guys watched that Rise and Fall of Warmachine documentary that's out? I mean, it's all stories pre-Steamforged games, and it doesn't advertise the most optimistic outlook on Steamforged, but it's mostly the story of like everything that happened before. And it's interesting. Like, they seem to have had a lot of good insights. Marked models, Old Umbrey can shift into the solos on death or on trigger. Huh. Or on another trigger. Okay. And they're marked. And how do you know they're marked? Oh, because it says marked up there. Words. In words. That's how you know. Okay. It's not totally false, but it's making people think the game is dead. Is it? Is it really putting people off like the new version of it?
I mean, to be fair, there's nothing in that documentary that could make people feel like the game is any more dead than they already felt before Steamforged picked it up.
Like they're just reinforcing a bias they already have?
Well, I don't know if it's even reinforcing it. I think everybody just thought it was dead. And I think I think most people see Steamforged picking it up as kind of a new lease on life. I think most people are anyway.
Yeah, I mean, to be at Nova and to see the amount of participation happening in both the narrative as well as the Iron Gauntlet stuff, it's higher attendance than they had the prior year. Steamforged was there. They were selling well, as far as I know. Old Umbrey's completely sold out for the foreseeable future, as far as I can tell, too. So, I mean, that definitely does not indicate a dead game. Warmachine's in a really good place. Yeah, that's what I keep hearing. Let's see. I felt the docu felt kind of dour at parts. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like a loving look back on the game or on the company. And I think because the main guy doing it wasn't much, like he didn't really play a lot of Warmachine personally. He just sort of picked it up as a documentary and then reached out to other people. So I don't think it was like anything special to him. And so he's just saying, well, this is what happened, and probably just being very British about it, which, always sounds a little dour.
Man, there's some stuff. I don't know. I felt like it was one of the more accurate portrayals personally, from us having, been in and around the Warmachine world for as long as we were. And there was a lot of things that, I saw the company doing, and it's like, yeah, no, that's going to bring about your end, guys. And it did. And this guy points them out during the video, and it's like, yeah. I
watched someone reacting to it, talking about getting into a dead hobby because of that video. An actual reaction, huh? Interesting.
Oh, that's interesting. Talking about how he wants to get into a dead hobby, or that he would avoid it?
Good question. Patty, it started as loving, but again, I'll be giving my thoughts. Primarily, how did not a single authority figure in the interviews know what page 5 was? Dude, right? Like, yeah, especially that one guy who's like, what is page 5? Because nobody reads the damn rule, like the lore, because if it's not a part of the actual rules, which admittedly page 5 technically would have been, yeah, it was weird. Now, I'm gonna admit, like, page 5 from Mark 2 never bothered me. Like, I thought that was like an overblown reaction for the most part.
Yeah, it was very different in Mark 2.
Was so cringy. Oh my god. Like when they were reading the stuff from Mark 1, I never had that rule book. So I was like, oh wow. Page 5 from Mark 1 was brutal. Oh god. Like, yeah. It didn't age well. Oh man. Dragon Bubba, someone with access to Discord analytics for the unofficial Warmachine Discord, total membership keeps climbing. Okay, well, see, that's awesome then. 2 words, page 5. I think people took it too literally. If you boil it down, it was play your best, be a good sport, and honor your opponent with your best efforts and spirit. I certainly agree with that for the Mark 2 version. The Mark 1, I don't know, man. That felt a little more unhinged, but I came into it later, so maybe it was just culturally different. But yeah, I always took it to mean like, take your losses like a champ or whatever. Yeah, he said he was interested in picking up Warmachine, and because of that video, called it a dead IP. Ooh, well, that's interesting. Good night, all. Warmachine forever. Have a great night, Brian. Thanks for joining. Interesting. Because if you read the comments, which, whenever I see a documentary video, I always read the video comments on it because it's interesting to see what other insight people have. And so many of the comments on his videos are like, it's actually doing really well under Steamforge, and it's not a dead game. Like, I feel like, they objected to basically that part of it. But I hope too many people aren't put off the game for that. They should be watching Tried and True and watching like Erica and Andy's battle reports and seeing like how completely alive and happy it actually is. That would be better. Let's see. I've been a member of the tribe since it launched. I have an entire Cephalix army to print and paint if I want to try Mark 4. Perhaps you'll sell me on it, but my feelings and wallet were hurt. So many people felt betrayed. I think a lot of that has washed away for the most part. Like, there was a lot more optimism for Warmachine this year than I'd seen in a long time. JP, it was a very American type statement with certain tongue and cheekiness that people didn't get because most people don't know how to parse things in a literary sense. And it was a British documentary, right? Your battle reports from back in the day actually got me in the game. Those are good days.
Yeah, for what it's worth, we're not in the documentary at all.
Yeah, that's true.
There's not any mention of us.
Or any of the other half dozen channels doing Warmachine battle reports. That's true. I, of course, have my bias for Tried and True because I'm friends with them, right? But yeah, there's a lot of Warmachine stuff like kind of coming back up, and the battle report, I don't know, like standard is high enough now that they're all pretty decent. Yeah, there's like a clip of Dan, and I'm next to him, but
in one of them.
Yeah.
in the one that's broken into 3 pieces, I guess you're in it. I didn't see that one. but the one that's the full length one, you're not in that because I watched it.
I mean, it's fine, but
yeah, I mean, it's just interesting.
It's
like
more of
for
just, like,
for any of
what
our audience wondering if you're in
what
it.
decisions the company made, and many of those decisions pointedly did not include me.
No.
So, like the Super Size Me documentary, yes, his health did go downhill, but some aspects were due to his alcoholism that were never mentioned. Okay.
Yeah.
But that's a detail for sure. Oh, thanks, Dragon. Is the full length one different? I think it's just edited slightly differently, but no. Thanks for the shout out. We're getting back to recording battle reports and new content once we get back from WTC. That's right. They've got to go
Nice.
beat up in the World Team Championship. So yeah. Anyway, all that to say, I did watch it. It's worth a watch. Definitely give it a look and see what your take on it is, especially if you're actually playing the new edition now, because it would probably even be worth commenting so that anybody else watching it, if they do read the comments, don't feel like the game's actually dying, you know? Don't, like, I wouldn't thumb down the video or anything, because they're not lying or anything to my knowledge in the actual documentary. But if the viewpoint is, and it seemed like the comments that I was reading indicated so, that Steamforge is doing a good job with Warmachine now, then it's not a dead IP. It's just, that was, I don't know, all under the old management. You get to blame them now, right? Everything falls under the people who aren't there anymore. So I guess there's that. So anyway, with that said, Voice, do you want to look at some of the terrain stuff that you were showing? I've been hogging the screen with the Liegeman Ursins, and they don't really need to stay up there anymore.
Let's see here. There we go.
And so the guy I was referring to is Morty and Glory. Oh yeah, I watch his stuff.
Yeah,
pretty good content creator, and posted it as is 40K next approach.
Like, is 40K gonna pull the same stuff soon? Is that what his video
I mean,
was?
40K. What, we've been 2 years into 10, so they're gonna just be doing a new edition change. But I don't know what else they're gonna do.
Yeah, I'd gone and looked up, My Mini Factory, and found a bunch of. So I grabbed all the images they had there of any of the old Umbrey stuff that they've 3D modeled and put out. So I'm not sure how much of this is free and how much of this you got to buy. I'm pretty sure this you have to buy, like the terrain set. But all of this terrain is 3-dimensional, which I will happily point out. But they have some pretty cool, just interestingly built stuff that, like that's really neat.
And a lot of, the new terrain stuff is actually really interesting and pretty.
Printing trees is always a little weird to me because I feel like the ones you buy are better, but it comes in the set. These are interesting. I guess it's like a war jack that's been destroyed and in the snow. The thing that I think you're supposed to keep in mind is that, I wonder if I can zoom in here. Yeah. Is that, like, you can kind of see this little edge right here. I think that's supposed to be snow.
Wait a minute.
Right over stone. And so this is snow covering everything.
Did they place the model on Tabletop Simulator and take a picture? I think it's in Tabletop Simulator.
I have no idea.
No.
So the fence is pretty cool. Little wall section.
Ooh.
And again, these looked weird to me until I realized, like, oh, you're supposed to paint that as snow. Okay. Like, what is that? But it makes sense. So what you paint it.
Yeah, you need to clarify, Steamforge.
Little hill. You have reeds, which is interesting.
Oh, that is cool. That kind of captures the imagination a bit.
Which makes me wonder, is that cracked ice? Is that like on the edge of a river or on the edge of a lake or something? They have these cool base toppers, which is neat. Kind of go over, like, and I imagine snow again.
Is this the old Umbrey set you're looking at?
Yeah, this is all old Umbrey stuff that they've put out.
So Paul says about $50.
You got this Soul Cairn, which is interesting. I guess you paint, that's a little soul face, I guess. And so they have the die here. It's pretty standard size die to give you a sense of scale. And
Yes.
these are neat. Little weapon rack that you can
Ooh.
use. Put in
Yeah, you have a bunch of those.
Put in a dungeon as just regular dungeon terrain. Not just for Warmachine.
If you're a member of the tribe, you get it for half off too.
Ah.
That is interesting.
That's a cool defense. It's like a thorny wall there.
Yeah, I like that one.
That
looks like a trap in Zelda.
A little pyre there.
The trees are magnetic, so you can take them off the base. Oh, that's smart.
Okay, yeah, that would make sense.
Well,
So these are really cool.
Paul giving you the link. It's also on the Steamforge website. But thank you, Paul. Appreciate it.
The little, it's not a gibbons, but it's, I don't know, almost looks like it is, or a gibbet, I mean. Or maybe it's just a weapon rack. Maybe that's all I'm seeing.
Yeah, because there's a sword hanging.
I saw the helmet and the little thing, but I guess that's just weapon rack.
It's a old Umbrey locker.
It's a locker.
Yeah,
that looks cool. Like, I like this. This is really neat.
It's really cool. I agree.
And
and then
there's the extreme version of Alessa. So you kind of see her there. She's got snakes all in her tree. And a really cool hat.
Well, she's mostly like in touch with the wild. She can communicate through the root system of the forest. And everywhere she goes, little trees shake and shudder and little vines grow around her.
They shake
Sounds
and
way
shudder.
cooler than the way I explain it.
And there's this guy. He's an angry primeval.
All this talk about Warmachine makes me want to play so bad. Well, I'll be playing on Friday, and if I can understand Wartable well enough, Patty, maybe you and I can have a game. We can play with our little pogs. Snakes. Why does it have to be snakes? He's cool.
There you go. And so these are a few of the different models of them.
Why are they hiding the body? Is it just the highlighted pieces that you print?
Well, I think this piece is the same on all of them, and these are the additional pieces that you print out and then stick on the body, I think. Because if you kind of go back through, no, they don't look the same.
No, they don't.
Maybe they're just showing where the pieces come apart. Maybe you print out 4 pieces.
Parts. It's an alternative weapons to magnetize. But I think it's just like a different style because the rules still give you just the 3 choices.
And then there's a feral.
Alternates. That's what I thought.
The little ferals are really cool.
And then all the cute flowers and trees around her try to kill you. Yes, exactly. Jack says this month's files are some old Umbrey, mostly Crucible Guard stuff like terrain toppers, etc.
Yeah, some of the Crucible Guard stuff I was looking at is really neat, and it makes me want to.
So she's got the sword stabbed into the tree so she can stand on it. Is that?
Oh yeah, yeah, I think it is actually.
That's fun.
See, there's the scabbard, and so she stabbed it in and is standing out.
Well, it wouldn't be. Oh yeah, yeah.
And the little bird up there.
The hawk is just like, "What's up? I got you. Spot you."
He's the spotter. He's telling her what to do.
Well, I like her because I've always wanted a lady Cadoran sniper warcaster. So I guess.
So does Signar get a sniper anymore since ours is, I don't know, dead or went off to the whatever space world or whatever? Like, does Signar still have one?
Steven says it's a ridiculous sniper perch, and I love it. The sniper's cool. 15. Oh, Paul's getting sold on it. Okay, so that's the feral, and those are alternative parts. Oh, he's got like a cool, like a Boros looking mask. That's fun.
Yeah, really cool business there. And then
an extreme Captain Maxim.
Is it Captain or Capitan? Since the I is, before the T.
I don't know. I guess if you're going to pronounce it correctly, it's probably Capitan. So apparently he had his sword was taken from like a warjack, and he fought with it. And then after the battle, he liked it, but he had blacksmith like scale it down slightly so that it can be his.
What it looks like, that looks like half of the nomad sword, including the little 3 holes there. So it looks like they cut the nomad sword in half and he kept it.
Let me find where it is about that, because we're reading that like, huh? His sword appropriated out of desperation from a fallen warjack in the heat of battle. Okay, so yeah, it could be would likely be a nomad. Well, I mean, I say that I don't know what the new jacks are.
That's
He became his calling card after using it to lead his men.
He also has a little lynx, a pet lynx, I guess.
Agreeing with you. No, man. It's He-Man to us lay people.
So, is that leaves or just fur?
Probably
So it
fur.
looks
I
like
think
leaves.
it's going to be fur.
I mean, he's got a lot of branches and stuff like that, or their antlers. I don't know. Just how you paint it, I suppose.
Well, he came out of retirement to fight the Yorgoth. He was too old for this stuff.
Sounded just like Danny Glover.
Looking at my mini factory page, all the terrain packs are 50. Characters are about 15, and others are 10. And then I guess it's half off if you're part of their tribe. Thomas says, I have played against old Umbrey once so far. Befuddle is very good for messing my war beasts. Interesting. It's pretty typical fur texture for Warmachine. True fact. It's neither. It's tongues. Good Lord.
It's not Kingdom Death.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it would not be tongues if it was Kingdom Death. We know that, but
it would possibly be tongues.
Well, were any of them tongues? I know one was ears, and then one was something else.
Crimson Croc is fingers.
Ooh. Looks great, but still on embargo until we get future Menoth. What are they going to do with Menoth?
You mean with one of the core factions in the world of, the Iron Kingdoms? Good question.
Patty, I really want to see the minutes. This meeting. Yeah, for the Menites. Well, I know a bunch of them went out through the Hengehold Gate, but several of them went to Zoo and have presumably done something over there.
So, lore-wise, why would any of them go and leave Menoth? Why would they leave through the gate and leave Cain? Well, Cain is where Cain and Urcain...
why would they leave Cain?
Yeah, if they're Menites, why would they leave the place where their god is?
They weren't true believers, I guess.
Does that make any sense?
They were bad. They were bad Menites. It's not that unbelievable, I guess.
It is unbelievable. They're zealous.
I have a ton of ideas for Menoth, but Steamforge said they aren't taking outside ideas. I would love to see Menoth make a comeback. It always had one of the coolest aesthetics for the game. Very, very strong, cool pointed features, and it was just good times. But if they've gone down to Zoo, then presumably whatever they do down there would incorporate like a more tribal aspect, unless
hopefully with dinosaurs.
Huh? Oh, with dinosaurs.
Hopefully with dinosaurs.
I keep getting told we're not getting Dino Riders, so
then
I believe there's going to be Dino Riders.
Then they failed at being cool.
Well, okay, no. So to their defense, they're trying to actually make Warmachine cool and not just lean into every goofy
Dinosaurs
thing.
are cool.
We remember Carjack, right? Like there's too many.
Carjack was stupid though. I mean, you have bear riders, and we know that there's dinosaur type creatures. Like, I don't know. I feel like you've already opened the door for it, and why are we not going through that door? That's all I'm saying.
And I love what Dragon Council had to say. You imagine
Terra Troopers. Wow.
I can now. I mean, and it's not like they don't lean into some silliness stuff with the Trollbloods are still quite silly. But I think Menoth, they are a serious faction, and they should stay a serious faction, like make the world a little bit more grimy steampunk again, instead of it being got really cartoonified, I think. I don't like the airships, but that is what it is.
Yeah, I don't like the airships at all.
There's little hints of protectorate on some new models. Foulblood, for example, has a bottle strapped to him with a Menoth cross. But is that just like something he found as like a discarded piece of junk, or is he a Minite?
Well, I don't think they're just going to completely...
Oh my god, Dino Crisis. That was a wild game. You know what I want to see, though? Let's remake Trespasser, okay? Anyway, I like the tiny details like that. No, that is super cool. I just don't know what it means. And I don't know. Like, there's a lot of love for Menoth. They will obviously sell a bajillion models as soon as they actually put out a cool-looking Menite faction. I think they're not unaware of that. But they've got to do it right. And like, for the Menoth players out there, do you want to see just traditional Menoth come back? Like, they're the ones that never changed at all, barring whatever technological advances to Warjacks? Or do you want to see some re-envisioning of them, like Dino Riders, like some incorporation with the zoo people? What would that look like?
Because yes, I was also a Menoth player.
Again, certainly is a slogan. Well, they were the best at steampunk, and part of that is being a little more gritty and taking things seriously. I thought Khador, of course, did a fantastic job of that, of being like very serious. The Greylords were just straight up dark. I didn't really play too much with them, but yeah, that terrain stuff looks pretty cool. I'm going to take a moment to segue from this, but still on the topic of terrain, because my friend Dana does have his Kickstarter up for his terrain pieces, which I did back. So putting my money where my mouth is. But let me show you what he's got going on, because it can apply. It's probably more 40K, but let me show you what we got. It's that one. Yeah, it's the one. Either is good for me. I also called for a paladin-focused army. I'd love to see the paladins come back, but you got to be careful, like, if people know how to make a paladin correctly, because everyone's so in love with the idea of like any religious faction that's remotely like Christian just being immediately corrupt. But if they do the paladins right and earnestly, like, that could be really, really cool. So Forsaken Sentinels is available on Kickstarter right now. He also he's got different backing levels for it. So I think it's like, what is it, $80 gets you everything in digital, and you actually can get some stuff printed if you want to go that far. But I mean, if you've got the printer, then print them, especially those new bamboo printers. They're so good. And then he's got he originally did the Stone Trove bundle a couple years ago now. And so for a little more, you can get that with it too. But a lot of his models are on that thing, my mini factory. But yeah, check these out. Like, well, that could, like, the statue could definitely work in a Warmachine setting, especially if you think like more spoopy. And he's an incredible sculptor. Look at the Castle Grayskull happening there.
Yeah, he's actually a professional 3D modeler for a video game company. So he in fact, he specializes in the terrain and environments. And so he's definitely bringing that skill to bear.
Yeah, no, he's got it. And of course, it's like masterfully painted as well. Absolutely brilliant patina. The bridge is super awesome. Like, imagine playing on stuff like that.
Ah, that's super cool.
Oh yeah. So I gotta give my friend a bump because it's really cool. They're really beautiful.
Oh wow, okay. That's cool.
So extraordinarily modular. It's a pin design. Okay. And shorten the bridge, or I guess add as much length as you want to it. So these would be really fun diorama pieces too. The tree is really cool. And of course, the statuary is incredible.
The Forsaken Sentinels.
Forsaken Sentinels.
Don't miss out.
So
Don't do it.
Do check out my friend's Kickstarter. Not just because he's my friend, but because I think you'd actually really enjoy the 3D prints.
So do we have a link to it below?
Yes, it is linked in the video description. I sorted that out.
Okay.
Already.
So yes, definitely check out that Kickstarter. It is very cool.
For a minute, yeah, exactly. It's that immersive. I'll have to send Naomi the Kickstarter. Oh yeah, definitely show it to her. I'll post it in my shared Discord, which one of these days I'll make as a proper, actual, real Discord. Night, Erica. Yeah. Trench Crusade didn't do diesel punk. They did edgy poo on Christians. yeah, I mean, so I'm not gonna lie. Like the Trench Crusade models look fantastic. They feel like out of a Guillermo del Toro picture, right? Like absolutely fantastic aesthetic. I am definitely struggling with the like the most edgelordy an edgelord can get for the lore stuff. It's a little rough for me. But that's just my opinion. Yeah, so I think that was all the stuff I wanted to make sure to show on here. I mean, if you want, I can also show you my struggles in Wartable, which is what I'm practicing now because I have no idea what I'm doing in this thing. I'm like, okay, set up like a basic game and throw a list out there. And I was like, oh, okay, I set it up. And then I zoomed out. I'm like, why is all of this here? Why is it moved in such a funny way? So I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. And then I don't even know what the scenarios are or any of that. But for the most part, I think I can at least move myself around and mark things. It's not a bad system. It's just, it's very old school. And it's like, you think, I wonder if Steamforge is going to make a proper video game of this. Not Warmachine Tactics, but like just a really beautiful version of this where you can have not flat terrain. I mean, I appreciate how everything's marked. So no complaints there. Just this feels so rudimentary. And then you look at the models and you're like, these models are so beautiful. I want to play with this. But anyway, it's fine. It's very fine. I get so frustrated playing Wartable sometimes. Well, it's my only option right now. I like the Trench Crusade minis, but Popsicles are kicking out proxies that I'm getting and are very stylish also. I feel like the 3D print market is extraordinarily saturated right now. I mean, there's a lot of beautiful models. In fact, Voice, do you want to talk a little bit about like one of our other games we've been looking at getting back into in light of the retro love we've been seeing on the internet? Oh my gosh. We watched a battle report for 2nd edition Warhammer and I fell in love. It was so fun to watch.
Yeah, no, it's
the simpler times.
No, I've been finding and printing out and cleaning up images for and everything. Advanced Hero Quest. And so I don't know. I'm rallying for the idea of doing an Advanced Hero Quest battle report. They might actually do.
Well,
we'll have to see. We'll have to
though,
play some games. Yeah, it would be a series of them that would be a campaign with their own named characters.
I'm sorry, 2nd edition 40K, Andrew.
Oh yeah, it was a 40K 2nd edition.
The best thing about Hero Quest.
That's a great video. But this one is advanced.
Reliquary, there's no excuse to not see something done like Battletech 2018 or Baldur's Gate when it comes to wargaming, to a wargaming video game. Man, whatever White Moon Dreams originally like had in their head, I wish I could have seen that.
See that game. Yeah,
I know. Like every time I think back on like that original promo video, I just get like these little pangs of we missed something wonderful. But oh well. Tactics was fine. Eventually it was fine. So yeah, Wartable. That's what I'll be learning on Friday. So I'll post it on my social medias, like wherever that's going to end up streaming, and you can watch me putz around on here. I'm sure it'll be great. No problems. But yeah, so old Umbrey. I do wonder a little bit, like, I don't like that the lore feels a bit retconned with the old witch. Like, I don't like them knowing, like, the lore being written in such a way as to know what the old witch is thinking. But the old Umbrey models look really cool. And apparently they're perfectly scary to fight against. It'll just be a matter of like figuring out how to utilize them correctly. So hopefully it isn't too cringy to watch when I play it on Friday. The tactics camera gives me flashbacks sometimes. Warhammer Fantasy Battle was peak from 3rd to 5th edition. 6th was notable due to inclusion of the skirmish rules, which were pretty much the Mordheim rules. And yeah, Mordheim, of course, would be lovely to see make a comeback someday. So that Friday, your time. Yes, it'll be Saturday for you, Paul. Friday in North America. But yeah, so there we are. Let me gather up the boys. Say some stuff while I gather up the pictures from the feast.
Be amusing.
Fill this
Go.
dead air. Go.
Where Flo can talk too. She's just working away.
So
Well, I don't have anything to say when it comes to Warmachine. So
let's see if I can find it. It was a message that was much further up. I wonder if I can find it here. But Patty was actually mentioning that he felt that the Malifaux models had kind of gotten a new design style that felt.
I haven't seen anything for this new edition. However, if you drop by Tavern at some point, they do have this really cool like crocodile model from the last edition, and it's like 25% off right now. I saw it and I thought of you.
Yeah, we actually went there not too long ago. It was we were looking for I was looking for models to use for Advanced Hero Quest. So a lot of people are purists when they're like, oh no, and now I want to get all the old models from back then too. I, on the other hand, I'm like, models look so cool nowadays. Let's just combine the two. But what I like a lot is how simple the rules are when you get into it. And a lot of stuff is just, what would you call it? It's like the rules are actually kind of elegant, and it feels like a lot of stuff is just wrapped into it. And it's like you can be either a fighter or a wizard, because wizard just has to be different.
You're a wizard, Harry.
But then, like if you take, the heavier your armor is, right? You can go wear leather armor, you can wear like chainmail or whatever. Every time you do that, it increases, your armor, but it also reduces your speed by 1, and it reduces your range skill. And so it just sort of naturally plays out that as an archer, you might wear leather armor, but not really anything more, as a ranger or something. Whereas, as a warrior, you don't care about shooting bows and arrows. You just are trying to stack on armor and go in and get stuck in. And so it's like they didn't even have to build in the classes. The classes just sort of make themselves. Do you know what I mean? Like, and so we've been going through and trying to come up with character names, and we actually did a house rule where we created kind of a points buy-in system instead of just roll a dice. Because while I appreciate the harshness and brutalness of just roll a dice, it's like, well, that can be kind of fun. But if we're going to record this, I'm going to we're going to try to have some characters that are at least somewhat balanced, and kind of have what we want them to be.
I just wanted to ask, what do you mean by modernized, JP? Because one of the things I liked the most about Malifaux was that it was, very... It was a mix of the Western and Victorian era kind of style. And so if you're modernizing that, like, kind of changes the whole aesthetic, doesn't it?
Yeah, is it a fundamental change?
So there's Patty's comment that I was kind of curious about your take on, but I guess you hadn't seen a lot of the new models anyway.
I haven't seen any of the new models. Yeah. I haven't been spending any time online, really. I mean, I'm around for, like, if people want to chat with me online, but for the most part, I've been just sitting and painting nonstop. I haven't really been fussing about.
Simpler rules often allow more player agency. Simple rules plus tactical complexity.
Yes.
Think so? I wonder if it's easy to, if you started writing rules, if it's easy to just keep making more rules, to account for every scenario. But with like advanced hero quests, you have a GM, right? So a lot of that stuff gets adjudicated by a human brain without having to find a rule for it.
No, not even that. You can play by yourself.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
And you can play, a couple of people can play against an AI essentially, where they have it set out. I agree with them that it's kind of got an interesting approach to it, where it really does have, like, the rules are simple enough that you can create your own tactics and stuff. Whereas I mean, I've never been very secret about my thoughts on the biggest flaw behind Warmachine was that there were 8,000 special rules added to every model, like just constantly adding more warcasters so that you can have more complex rules interactions. And it's like, that's not really what I get into games for. I get into them to just go, okay, well, I know what the rules are. Now let's do something interesting. And it's like, no. Your rules interactions are what's interesting. And I know there's some games where your models barely move and you're just, doing, I don't know, behind the scenes rules interactions. And it just, I don't know. I want to push my little toys around. I kind of want to move quickly. And one of the things I like about the way the advanced hero quest rules are is that turns just go. Like, you just do a ton of turns. So it feels like you get a lot done over the course of a game. Whereas, you look at it and you're like, oh, okay, this is a war game. There were 6 rounds. That's it. It's like my model can't even move from one corner of the table to the other corner. He could get very little done. He can only do a handful of things in a given game. And I'd rather see a character do lots of things over the course of a game. But you can't when the entire game is spent just, dealing with, 1,000 rules interactions just to get from here to there one round.
I'd load a picture of the boxes, but I only got video stuff in the Malifaux booth. Oh, okay. Yeah, elegant rules. Rules you don't have to keep relearning. I hate rules churn. I feel like it is antithetical to a busy life.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Here we go.
Well, how many people do we know who play 40K who are just like, I play 40K about once every 2 to 3 months. And it seems like every other time I play, I have to learn the game again. And so they never really get to play.
Or it's like, update my data slate, check the FAQs. And it's pushed so many people into the app. So now you're more on your phone again. Like, I don't like the direction, but whatever.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah.
So here is a lovely Orgoth army that Chris has.
That looks fantastic. Even the terrain behind it looks cool. Like, it all
gorgeously
goes in together. Yeah.
I'm sorry. And he said Chris is currently painting his old Umbrey army, but he just finished the Graveborn. And yeah, they look fantastic. Like, there we go. Frowny faces of Orgoth. That's how you know.
There you go.
Strong aesthetic. Their little soul fires and all that.
That little warjack thing they got. That's neat.
The little warjack thing?
No, the big one with the fire on his shoulders.
Yeah, the shoulder pad braziers. Love it.
It's like, yeah, that one.
Yeah, he's cool. The shields are all really cool too. I mean, the aesthetic is strong. Whatever this weird whippy thing is, looks a little interesting.
Looks like a really, really, really long spinal cord.
Yeah.
So I wonder if it's a whip made out of just spinal cord sections.
Bone. Yeah, okay, that would make sense. And is that a skull face? Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
That was beautiful. Great job, Chris. And then his other army. So here's old Umbrey against, I guess, some of the Orgoth. So I believe that's Strix. And then we've got the Warcaster guy.
Wow, this stuff looks fantastic.
It does look beautiful. And of course, he has it all set up in like a diorama setup. So it looks like something you'd see in a magazine.
Yeah.
And he's got the terrain out. Some skeletons hanging.
Yeah, those are
Some warding.
fantastic. I like
Get
it.
it, boys.
I believe these are the witches that each possess a different aspect of the elements or whatever. No, it's beautifully done. I feel like Orgoth's gonna have their hands full dealing with that. Oh yeah, and there's Veroni there. It's like, I kill my crows. or so I'm told. Beautiful, very beautiful. Or several spines, yes. Very beautiful. Next up, we've got Dexter, who always has such amazing terrain pieces. Look at these rocks. Look how distinct that is.
Yeah.
So here we've got a little shoreline, more beautifully painted buildings. I think, is there a shot on the inside? There we go. I couldn't get a higher resolution version of this, so I'm sorry. It's a little blurry. Let's see if there's another one, actually. Here's a fun one. Man playing the fiddle. Bar wench doing her thing. Enormous mugs of mead that don't even fit on her tray. Little guy, like, I don't know. Like, how much does that capture the imagination, right? Just the miniaturization of life. And then this one wouldn't get me a high resolution photo either, which just sucks because like that's a real, like, I know that's hand painted.
It's like you just know it.
I know it. And then Jack with this amazingly illuminated Crix model. Holy smokes. Dang. Look at the illumination on that. His Iron Lich Commander. Oh, those effects are phenomenal. It looks lit. So absolutely fantastic job. Great work. Even the spill onto the ground, like, it's extraordinarily well done. Dexter does have gorgeous terrain. My buddy Andrew played Malifaux at Nova, and I watched a game. It was fine. You still choose the schemes and stuff. Its app is much better though in the 4th edition. Well, that's good to know.
Maybe it is. I don't ever use the apps. I am very much gimme cards, gimme books.
Me too.
I mean, I do use the app, but I always like to like poke through it for actual gameplay. I'd rather have it. It is faster to reach for a card than it is to dig through an app.
Well, yeah, for just sitting around digging through army lists and stuff, I don't mind my phone. Like, that's pretty cool. But yeah, for actually playing the game. Oh, that's a fun building. I like that a lot.
Oh, yeah. Like, I think that's part of a chimney, probably?
Yeah.
Hansel and Gretel.
Yes. Oh, so there's the big oven is what you're saying. Hello. Good grass. Nice garden setup. It's beautifully done. GG. And then a Signar model. What do you call it? Cephalix Dominated Storm Legion Mini.
Okay, I was gonna say, like, I don't know. He seems unique.
Yeah, like what's going on here is a little distressing. So it's pretty cute. I said Dexter hide, and he crawled under the table. I didn't tell him to hide. I just said Dexter hide. Excellent. But yeah, good job, Matthew, on the here's the mini Paul was talking about of pregnant Sorsha running around in a machine that burns people alive.
See, it looks like an actual oven over her belly, so she has a bun in the oven.
She has a bun. I'm sure that joke was never made. Shale.
Oh wow.
Now, this is a little phenomenal. This building is gigantic, and it's fully 3D printed, as you can tell when you look real close.
You could barely tell.
Yeah, yeah. Great. I mean, it's mostly like the design of it anymore. Like 3D printing has brought so much terrain to the table nowadays. Here's the back side of it. So tree. Oh, they've got some problems there with the tree coming through. Ooh, look at that cool rounded balcony. Roof needs a little work. Another angle of it.
I mean, the cobblestones do too, but you know.
Some of the shutters open. I mean, a massive amount of detail in here. Is this like a My Mini Factory piece? Oh, goodness. Okay, and yeah, you've got like this little rotunda
Like, what are you
area.
talking about? I molded it out of Sculpey.
Like, all right, I believe it. Here you go. Here's Old Witch 2
Yes.
on the 180 millimeter base for scale. What do you say about it? I wish Facebook would not hide comments all the time. It's extraordinarily annoying. Here it is. Yeah, Old Witch 2 for scale. And so this is the Silent Coin Tavern from Loot Studios. 1
Okay,
week
I
and
thought I
change of
remembered
work. Of work time to go. Can I finish it in time? It is a lot of work. But holy smokes, look at the details of it. Like, imagine the campaign you have in there. Or with models like that. And of course, it's all modular. So you open it up and you've got dudes running around inside there. Massive rooms. Oof, it's like a Phasmophobia layout. We have a ghost hunt in there, Paul. And you got to furnish it, of course. There you go. There's the tree coming in and
Those
out of there.
dollhouse building days coming back.
I know, right?
I love the little bird eggs. It's like a
I
little
never
bird
got to
nest.
do that. When I was a kid, I really wanted to, though.
Yeah, we put together a couple of like the classic wooden doll houses. This is my technically my introduction to miniatures, I guess. Holy smokes! So what are all these? Oh, there's the beds. Ah, little furniture. There it is. So, I mean, it looks like you're probably using large brushes and doing a lot of washes. Would be my assumption for getting the stuff done. Dude, as a base, there's a cellar. You can keep your wine and potatoes down there. Although not too many potatoes because they can go bad and poison you and make it, deadly. Thomas Gravel, award-winning painter in the chat. Working on another little pig, I believe. What do you call it? Pig coxswain for my brine blood marauders. With so many looping spots. I think we would be okay too. Well, I mean, I wouldn't. I get retarded and lose my way around a building immediately.
I mean, I do that too, though.
I survived the demon hunt the other day, though. My mom found an old tin doll house. I used it for my Star Wars and G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
How lovely. It is motivational eel. Yes, it's motivational eel. I love it. Which Thomas supports. Oh my goodness. That is actually amazing. So wonderful job as always. I love your color mix. And like, again, it's not just a green belt. There's the shadow of the belt. Like, it's always choice. Is that everything? I think that was the end of my list tonight. Yes, it is. So there you go. Thank you all. So I will keep everybody posted with when this game is happening. I believe it is in 2 days. So hopefully I'll know how to play and wander around the Wartable by then. And maybe I'll tweak my list a little bit too. That cavalry, all the cavalry talk got me interested in them. So we'll see. The blend on those paints is terrific. I know. He's so good. Thank you, Thomas. Yes, do smash the like button. We'll be back on October 15th. Hopefully have some big announcements by then. And hopefully I'll see you Friday and you can watch me stumble around in playing Warmachine again. I'm learning the rules. I got not stymied. I got distracted by playing the lore or reading the lore, but I will get back to it. I'm going to have some idea of what I'm doing. I'm not going to just go in completely unprepared. That would be rude. So we'll see you guys in about 2 weeks. And if you want to finish up talking in the chat, feel free. Our outro is a few minutes long, so I'll keep chatting with you in there. And thanks again for everybody posting and participating by posting their miniature models. So thank you. See you in 2 weeks.
Good night, everyone.
Barry, cover me.
right, guys. This is it. Copy that. No more sandwiches, Barry. What's wrong with this place? I'm in the west corridor. I'm right outside the generator room. I'm out of bullets. Oh, Barry. Success.